right, Shabbat Shalom to the whole full elect of the nation of Israel. We're going to start off this lesson by giving all praises and honor and glory to Yahawah,
Yahawah,
Hashem,
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 Hashem, HaKadosh.
and double honors to the apostles and the elders and the bishops of Great Millstone who rule well and have taught us this word in truth and sincerity. And peace and mercy to the whole full elect that's pushing this word in truth and sincerity across the four corners of the earth. And the rest of you that sincerely believe, peace and mercy to you and your household. So, hold on 1 second. You guys can still hear me?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right. So in today's class, it's going to be another edition of News and Prophecy. And I didn't really have a title, but we are going to tackle like 2 subjects, maybe 3, if the Spirit allows, but for sure 2, Yahawah. So various topics going into events that are playing out on Earth and leading to specific prophecies. Like if you're in the Spirit, man, you know there's really 2, if you say 3 major prophecies, all right, that you should be waiting to pop off, and that's the mandatory implementation of the MOTB and World War III, which brings the destruction and demise of Esau, Edom's wicked kingdom. All right, which comes alongside with the arrival of our Lord Yahawah, all right, which will take the crowns off the heads of these heathens, right? Starting with Esau, Edom, one heathen. So we're going to tackle this topic first. I saw this. It's a pretty good clip. It's about 2 minutes, not long, but as it says here, sex trafficking of minors is becoming the fastest growing criminal enterprise in the United States. And for those of us that have been in the truth long enough, man, we understand already this has been going on for a while, a long while, okay? And it's now just being brought to the surface, not only for prophecy's sake, but also as a means of distraction as well, you know? I think earlier you brothers were talking about P. Diddy and how, you know, Esau is using him as a distraction, even though what he's doing is debauchery. You can only imagine what the politicians and these world leaders, so-called world leaders, what they're doing behind scenes. Diddy's on he's a small fry, man, compared to what these guys are doing. You know?
Well,
but as they're
to add what you're saying, the one that came out this week was Amber. Yeah.
And he got bail. He is a ringleader or one of the ringleaders, right? And he's out on bail, and you know, $10 million bail.
Baltimore.
Wow.
Blink twice.
Yep. Yeah. So
sorry, that's the movie. Sorry.
Okay, it's all good. As we tackle this this aspect or this part of the lesson, so for those of you that are new, what you're gonna find when you, I guess, go into the rabbit hole, so to speak, when you look at all these kidnappings and these trafficking cases of children and minors and whatnot, all of it goes back to occult worship. Occult just being hidden, but really serving the spiritual demon Satan. Right, the leaders of this world, or of this kingdom, this world, we'll say, this empire, are you know, servants to Satan. All right, and they very much believe in sacrificing children. Part of their witchcraft. If the Most High, you know, with what we have a lot, and what we have is a lot, but it's little compared to everything that's been done, you know, within America, how it's been established. It's been based upon lies, robbery, and all kinds of different wickedness and evils, man. So this is just one aspect of it. So, as this is from Rumble, and we can claim no ownership of this video. Okay, this is fair use. And the title, it says sex trafficking of minors is becoming a fastest growing criminal enterprise in the United States. Of course, brothers, let me know deposit when you got a preset.
There's a simple brainwave method that can rev up your brain power and help you easily manifest abundance and wealth. So what's interesting is that the ancient cultures around the world knew how to manifest abundance using this. If you can't manifest abundance, there are 3 simple reasons why not. So what's interesting is that the ancient cultures around the world.
Shut the fuck up.
A horrifying report revealing sex.
I'm not lagging, eh? I'm not lagging at all?
No.
Okay, cool. Good.
Trafficking of minors is quickly becoming the fastest growing criminal enterprise in the United States. And with open border policies fueling the crisis, government agencies cannot keep up. Brooke Taylor is live in Dallas with more. Good morning, Brooke.
Dana, good morning. A local nonprofit here in Dallas is working with law enforcement to take down these sex trafficking rings. We spoke to the president of this foundation, who tells me that the reality of the situation is that ordering sex trafficking victims is just as simple as ordering pizza. The president of the Shepherd's Watch Foundation said,
and that's literal too, because they have that whole what's it called again? Something gate,
Pizza
Gate.
Yeah.
Right. Go look, you guys, those of you at home, go look into that yourself. And they use all these different terms. And
symbolism.
To describe, and symbolism. That's right, to describe what they're doing right in front of the faces of the people.
So even this in itself is actual commercial telling you how easy it is to get pizza. That's a buzzword for those in the know.
It's true.
Right? So it's a commercial. You can get pizza really easy. So, you know. So there's a commercial right there for those people in that train of thought. The line of thinking.
Yeah, she's trained because she's the news reporters are CIA agents, but they're failed actors basically. They're like or down like failed agent actors that just didn't make it in Hollywood.
Con.
says that you could order a sex trafficking victim as fast as 15 minutes. There's ads on social media and even gaming platforms that look exactly like this. You could select what age, height, and other really disturbing factors. She says the underage victims will usually have emojis covering their faces, and many are branded with tattoos.
There's been a huge paradigm shift, especially in the sex ads. We're seeing up to 90% are mainly migrants, where we used to work domestic cases.
And just last week, Texas DPS found a massive group of 57 unaccompanied children. Once they're processed, many are falling through the cracks and then get literally lost, becoming vulnerable to traffickers. According to a recent audit from the Office of Inspector General, over the past 4 fiscal years, 32,000 unaccompanied children failed to appear for their immigration hearings. As of May of this year, ICE also didn't serve notices to appear on more than 291,000 unaccompanied minors. The Homeland Security investigation.
Yeah, and you know, with all these people coming over the border, you know, they're being used for all kinds of different things. All right, they're being used for sacrifices. They're being used as what's it called?
Organ donor.
Organ donating too. Yeah. What do we call those agent provocateurs? Yeah. You know, and a lot of them are coming in heavy numbers because you know they know that a new so-called president is about to be elected, so they want to get in before anything changes on these borders being open. So there's a lot of people coming in, especially from the northern tribes that are coming in. Really, majority of them are coming to be a sacrifice in America.
Right. Precept.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, because you know, just before we came on, we were talking about this system here, pretty much how it's far-reaching and so forth like that. So I'm going to go straight to the point. And you had mentioned as well in regards to what this thing represents, right? Because they're coming into America, aka Mr. Babylon, right? So I have Revelation 13. The point is in 13:1. The point is actually in the 3rd verse. I'm just going to read it. It says here verbatim, Revelation 13:1. It says, "And I stood up on the sand of the sea, and I saw a beast rise up out of the sea, having 7 heads and 10 horns, and upon his horns 10 crowns. and upon his head the name of blasphemy. That's a very important word to understand. These people are coming into to this place, and that's all they're going to support is blasphemy, nothing else.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nothing else. Absolutely nothing else. Of course, 7 heads and 10 horns. We know it's NATO and the EU. I'll just read on. It's pointing to that. Let me just read on verse 2, and it says, "And the beast which I saw was like unto a leopard, right? His feet were as if it were the feet of a bear, his mouth of a lion, right? And the dragon, here it is, the dragon gave him his power, right? That old serpent, the devil and Satan, going back to Esau, Edom, okay? And his seat and his seat and great authority, okay? That's pretty much it. I just wanted to bring that out because of verse 1 in regards to what this program and this system stands for. Nothing else but blasphemy. Okay. Yeah. Anyway, that's it. That's it. Just want to say that. Go ahead, brother.
To the whole leap of those children that have come across from the border, a whole leap of them are Israelites. You know, and this devil, he doesn't hate anybody more than the Israelites. Esau, Edom, right? Starting with the top banking families of Edom, they don't hate any other nation more than they hate, you know, Israel, so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, right? So, guess who are the children that are being killed? Okay, sacrifice as a sacrifice on the left-hand side to Satan. Those are mostly Israelite kids, if not all of them. Right, the children that are being cut open and being sent over, being having their organs being donated, you know, and all and then being, you know, obviously sexually having sexual immorality happen to them. All this is of the Lord, of course. He controls both sides, but this among many other things is on that laundry list of why America got to go. It's the Mecca of all wickedness, man. And everything that you see happening around the world is all tying into the destruction of Babylon the Great and the downfall of these Edomites and their rulership on the earth. So we're going to continue on a couple more seconds here.
Nation's Dallas office tells Fox that sex trafficking is a bigger issue than many realize and impacts many different cities across our country.
It can happen in schools. It can happen in neighborhoods. It's not just.
And this is why the Spirit is constantly harping on, you know, us, starting with the apostles and those on down, to keep bringing out the time of Jacob's trouble, because if all this can happen when you do have your 911 calls, imagine what happens when you don't have those 911 calls, man.
That's right.
This is going to be happening in the streets. The scripture says it's going to be day the day of the Lord is going to be a day that the world has never seen before. You're going to have all other things happening. Heads over here, legs over there, cries over here, screams over there, you know. But through it all, the elect, through their faith, are going to be able to ride right through the storm. Whether the end point is death and they'll be first risen up, or they won't taste of death and they'll get beamed up.
Just any one specific area that you can pinpoint it to. Unfortunately, it's an epidemic, unfortunately, in society.
Is a bigger issue than many realize and impacts many different cities across our country.
It can happen. It can happen.
So this is Psalms 74:3, because we need the Lord to intervene on our behalf. All right. So we know only the elect and their offsprings who the Lord has predestined to be protected from the so-called white man's onslaughts, and other heathens too, because not only Esau is doing all this wickedness, other nations has joined on to him, but he's the main arch enemy of our people. So the Psalms 74:3 reads, "Lift up thy feet onto the perpetual desolations." So this is a prayer of the elect men to the Heavenly Father, right? Ask him to come to our aid and our assistance. Even all that the enemy has done wickedly in the sanctuary. All right. And verse 4, thine enemies roar in the midst of thy congregations. They set up their ensigns for signs. All right. So this is basically what the enemy has done. All right. And as we said earlier on, even though this seems like it's a news clipping, that's their way of an advertisement saying what we have on stock. We have these kids coming, you know, so it's basically showing you, you know, what's readily available. But to the unlearned, they think they're actually reporting on something in order to stop it. Listen, we live in a wicked world, man. So that's wickedness has to be done, or else it wouldn't be a wicked world.
That's right.
You see? And it says the whole world is lying in the power of the wicked one. You see? So it doesn't matter how nice they want to put it, make it seem like as if they care. This platform, Rumble, is also controlled by the wicked one, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah, Rumble's owned by Much Music or MTV. MTV, I believe.
And that's when you get the MM, the 33. Right?
Yeah.
MM is the 33.
Yeah.
Right? Thought
out. Precept real quick, because that was powerful that came out, because the word intervene is going into the mediatorial work for the elect. And the Lord swears by it. Okay, he swear by it. So I have Daniel 12:7, right? Daniel was getting instruction, right before he was Daniel, and then he became John. So the instruction that he got, verse 7, real quick, Daniel 12:7, and it says, and I heard the man clothed in linen, which was upon the waters of the river, when he held up his right hand and his left hand unto heaven, and swear by him that liveth forever and ever, that it shall be for a time, times, and half a time. And when he shall have accomplished to scatter the power of the holy people, all these things shall be finished. So the Lord swear by this, right? And we understand in regards to prophecy. So this thing is dwindling down really fast. But yes, the Lord swears by it, and definitely he's going to protect his elect, right? And he is always intervening for his elect. That's a little bit of a comfort, and also a healthy dose of fear of Yahawah Shem Yoshai, man. Right? Because that's going into prophecy in regards to the end. All right. Anyway, that's all I have on that.
I'll finish this up.
In neighborhoods, it's not just any one specific area that you can pinpoint it to, unfortunately. It's an epidemic, unfortunately, in society.
And again, authorities tell us that this is not just a Texas issue. These traffickers will move the victims throughout the country, targeting different cities, big cities, small and rural areas. Dana.
Brooke, it's an important issue. Thank you for covering. Thank you.
All right. So I got a precept here I want to bring out before we get into the next part, the next topic. Actually, two precepts. So the first one.
Did you know your bed could be making you sick? A shocking recent study reveals that after just 17,000 times more.
Everything's making us sick.
Throw out your old heater at your home for almost no cost. This jet engine inspired heat.
Okay. So this is Wisdom of Solomon chapter 12 verse 2 in the GNT. And when I saw this clipping, or otherwise known as a commercial, what the first thing that came to my mind was, what we did as Israelites in when we were in Jerusalem in the ancient world, and we did the exact same thing, sacrificing our children, right? And a lot of our people mingle among the heathens and upgrade their wickedness through Jake right? Jeremiah 2 said you've trimmed your way. Why do you trim your ways? Trim your ways for love. You have taught the wicked ones your ways. So Jake mingled among all these heathens, basically upgrading their wickedness. And a lot of you Israelites, whether you're aware of it or not, you're control opposition, okay, and you're going to be destroyed right alongside with this devil.
That's right.
Now, when it comes to his children, this devil uses these children for his witchcraft, right? And that's why Isaiah 47 goes heavy on Babylon and all the witchcraft and the sorcery they do. It comes from blood. A lot of it comes from blood, not all of it, because the Lord said the life is in the blood. All right. So when you're trying to conjure up these left-hand side demons, you have to deal with blood. Even the Most High on the right-hand side deals with blood. So anyway, this is Wisdom of Solomon chapter 12, verse 2. In the GNT, it says, and so I'll start at 3. Get right to the point. It says, you hated the people who lived in your holy land long ago because they did horrible things. And this is going to the heathens that were living in that land before we took it over. They're doing the exact same thing today. They're just doing it worldwide. Okay, so it says, because they did horrible things, they practiced magic and conducted unholy worship. They killed children without mercy, ate the flesh and the blood of human beings. They were initiated into secret rituals in which parents murdered their own defensive children. It was your will for our ancestors to destroy these people. And guess what? It's his will now for the hunters, which are the hopeful elect, to come back and basically do away with this kind of evil and destroy the people that are behind all this evilness, both Jake, heathens, and all. And it says here, verse 7, so that the land which you considered the most precious of all lands would be a suitable home for your people. But even in this, you showed mercy towards. The main point was in 6, actually, really. It says, in which parents murder their own defensive children, it was your will for our ancestors to destroy these people. Now, if this is happening in America, how much more in the the so-called Holy Land? Because people, a lot of small hats that are convicted of these kind of things, where do they go travel to get scot-free? It's over there in that so-called Holy Land. Right, so and then when you go into the what's their Bible called again? The Talmud. Yeah, you go into what they're allowed to do. Rabbi do with a 3-year-old girl, a 3-year-old boy. Yeah, right. They can circumcise them with their mouth. Go look this up for yourself. Those of you at home, don't take our words for it. Go look it up for yourself. You're gonna see it, man.
No, they said they can have schmecks with a 3-year-old, right? And you just gotta go to Google Jewish laws about having sex with a 3-year-old, and it'll come up. It'll tell you where to find it in their so-called holy book.
Yep.
Right.
There you go.
Yeah. And there's more.
So one more precept.
Yeah.
Say it again.
No, I was just saying there are more stuff in that Talmud that there's one where they say that to piss on the Lord.
And that he's in hell boiling in excrements, human excrements.
Well, you see, like, can you imagine, man? Once Lord willing of the elect, when we get into them chariots, man, and the Most High opens up our eyes fully to all the wickedness that has been conducted under the soils of Babylon, how much more even the so-called Holy Land, man? Hey, man, all kinds of wicked ass shit. So I'm gonna jump down to here now. My next precept concerning witchcraft through children and people. This is Psalms 107 or 106. And I'm going to start at I'll start at 34. It says, I'll start at 32. So we read earlier that we were supposed to go into the land and destroy those nations, right? So it says here that we're committing all these wicked acts. They angered him also at the waters, Psalms 106 and 32 in the King James. They angered him also at the waters of strife, so that it went ill with Moses for their sake, because they provoked his spirit, so that he spake unadvisedly with his lips. They did not destroy the nations concerning whom the Lord Yahawah commanded them, but were mingled among the heathen, as our people are today in the industry, okay, and even within the truth. Learned their works, and they served their idols, which were a snare unto them, right? Because what ends up happening is these people sell their souls, and they serve, and our people serve these idols and false gods, which are no gods. You end up finding at the end of it all that it was for nothing, man. You sold your soul for nothing. That's why the scriptures say that they pierce themselves with many sorrows.
And it's been made known now about the rituals that goes on in Hollywood, right? So for you to be bringing in them multi-million-dollar contracts, you have to be an A-lister, right? An A-lister, when you put the word together, you get Alistair, right? And that's going to Alistair Crowley, right? So they just break the word down. Oh, you're an A-lister, but what they're saying, you're the same mindset of that Alistair Crowley, which he was coined the evilest man on earth
by his mother. His mother said that's the spawn of Satan.
And she probably said it with like a big smile, like that, and proud of herself.
God, like she was proud.
God.
Yep.
That's my boy.
So yep.
Then click on workouts and click add new workout. From here, we're going to
So I'll just finish this up here. So back in Psalms 106 and 37, they sacrifice their sons and their daughters unto devils. So with all these children being trafficked and kidnapped, so-called kidnapped and all that, that's what do you think is going on behind the scenes, man? Satan, listen, your scripture said that this devil is wearied in the multitude of his counsels. You know what that looks like? That looks like someone who's trying to do more than they usually do to get what they used to get. So all these people that are going missing, the children, the teens, all that, Esau Edom has the technology and the money to eradicate all of that, to stop all of that. Right. He's not going to do that. Why? Because he's perpetuating his agenda on the left-hand side, all right, which is to establish his NWO by the way of the sea. But to get the power that he's been drunk on, okay, ever since the inception of these guys' rulership, you have to sacrifice children, do all kind of lewd, wicked acts on the left hand side over and over and over again. So his counsel, the multitude of his counsel is wearied, which means he's getting to the point where he's doing a lot and even more than he should do, because he knows, again, the scriptures say he knows he has a short time. So finishing up, it says, verse 38, and he shed innocent blood, even the blood of their sons and of their daughters, whom they sacrificed unto the idols of Canaan. The land was polluted with blood. You can only imagine how polluted America is, man. Blood. Thus were they defiled with their own works, and went a whoring with their own inventions. Right? Last verse, it says, therefore was the wrath of the Lord Yahawah kindled against his people, and so much that he had abhorred his own inheritance.
Right, and that's what we see happening, right? As it comes to them stars, as the stars are falling,
right,
from heaven, and that's going to be in a literal sense via the missiles, but it's also in a sense where it's a dark saying to the people who we look up to, right, with the glitz and glam, you know, and stars, right? They've been thrown down to what, you know, the sunken place, man, the place, the place of no return, where the Lord's going to basically put you over death, right? The Most High is going to use the sword. You see that? Like, I hate even calling his name, but that Sean Combs guy, like every day and a half or so, another witness come forward saying such and such, he did this and did that. So basically, they're taking the power that he's amassed by ways of money. So when they take all the money from him through lawyers, then just be another nigga in jail.
That's right. Exactly.
Well, you know what? They because remember, he put a lot of his stuff up on the black market. So only time will tell whether these people who bought the tape, who knows if it's the people that were involved doing the attacks, or someone, you know, because everybody's spilling the beans on each other, right? People, they have no backbone, right? And then they did it for a filthy lucre's sake, and it's just to keep themselves in a good thing, because Jay-Z and Beyonce is nowhere to be found, right? These guys are hiding, man. So it's only a matter of time.
Continue. Bring this up real quick. This is from Brother Require Flowing Brook. And shalom to the Akim and Akwath on the common board. Shabbat shalom, Slaka. And this is a good precept. So it says 2 Kings 21:6. And he made his sons to pass through the fire and observe times and use enchantments, showing you that enchantment and observing the times. And it says what? And dealt with familiar spirits and wizards. He wrought much wickedness in the sight of the Lord Yahawah too, to provoke him to anger. So showing you that when it comes to children and the sacrifice of children, it's all, you know, majority of the time that's linked to what? Enchantments requiring left-hand side powers, right? Forward whatever it is that you have going on. And that's how, you know, America has been able to stand, so-called, okay, up until now, as it's crumbling now. It's by ultimately the Heavenly Father using this devil on the left-hand side, just like he used Pharaoh in Egypt. All of this is he's propping him up, building him up, just so the Most High can glorify his name, right? First, and his son's name throughout the whole four corners of the earth. The Edomites have never had an empire like this empire in their whole existence. This is the greatest empire they've ever had.
Yeah, because they first started off with Greece, right? And they tried to bite off more than they could chew. And then when they were in Rome, they conquered a large portion to a certain degree. But then they got broken, right, by the power of Yahawah Shemi Shai. And Jake took it over and did wickedness. Right? Our forefathers took it over and did wickedness, and then Esau came here and he has a whole world. It says Job 9, right?
That's right.
Yep.
So this man has power to tell you if you're going to the airport, if you're on that list. Oh no, you're not going nowhere. Where are you going? Right? And you probably didn't even do anything. You could be a baby. There's been babies that are banned from flying. And what did they do? Like what?
Yep. Con. So
I got a precept.
Okay, yeah, go ahead.
Two of them. One is in Luke chapter 4, starting at 6, read down to 7. So verse 6 reads, and the devil said unto him, the him being Yahawah, as he was being tempted in his most vulnerable state, because while he was, was on a fast, So, and the devil said unto him, all this power will I give thee, and the glory of them, for that is delivered unto me, and to whomsoever I will give it. Right? So Satan is here posturing up, showing that this whatever glitz and glamour that the world has, and it seems attractive. It's all his to give. It's his.
That's right.
Right? And he said it's mine to give.
That's right.
So once you're privy to the correct understanding of the Bible, and you know how to connect the dots, anyone that you see flourishing, right? It's plain and simple that they have to bend down and worship, right? Give reverence to where it came from, right? And they always say, want to give thanks to God, and because you're the pure mind, you think, oh, it means God as the God of earth. No, they're talking about the Satan and the devil, man.
Right.
Okay?
Right.
The adversary.
Yep. And Slack, I was just gonna say too, a lot of you Israelites have to remember that the archaic way of worshiping a God, where you bend over, you prostrate yourself, that still happens behind closed door. But there's many ways to give credence and show your allegiance to who you worship. Hence why the scriptures talk about he winketh with his eyes, and talketh with his his fingers, so to speak. Those are all the symbolisms that they use, right? They cover their eye while they're talking to you on an interview or whatever. Wording. We went into Pizzagate. They use all kind of different words. Yeah, today we're gonna have a party. We're gonna order some cheese pizza. Little do you know, they're telling you that they're gonna order a bunch of 4-year-old girls.
Good.
You know what I mean, with brown hair or whatever.
Next precept is Isaiah 47, 12, and it reads, stand now with thine enchantments,
right,
and with the multitude of thy, your brother can chime in, and with the multitude of thy sorceries.
Yeah, those enchantments are them with these songs and their legislations and everything all in totality, right? They push their stuff mainly through songs. It'd be like the song was so good back then, you'd be like, oh, then you hear the lyrics or go look it up, and you'd be like, oh, what the hell are they saying here?
Yeah. Or even how about the other day I saw this little snippet on the Barney. Remember the Barney song, I love you, you love me, blah blah blah. Early night. He the same the guy who acted him before had a bunch of charges for sexual assault on the children and stuff like that.
God.
And all of those kids, man, all those kids, they love that song, not knowing what's going on with them.
Well, so with Elmo
who was, acting as Barney, I believe it was.
And same with Elmo. Elmo, the guy who was playing.
And he's not, and he's red for a reason. He's red for a reason, man.
God. So wherein thou, so back in Isaiah 47 and 12, wherein thou hast labored from thy youth, if so be thou shalt be able to profit, if so be thou mayest prevail. 13, thou art.
Slacker, I just want to say this as well. Or actually, no, finish that verse. Slacker, go ahead.
Verse 13, thou art wearied in the multitude of thy counsels. Let now the astrologers, the stargazers, the monthly prognosticators stand up and save thee from these things that shall come upon thee.
Because a lot of you Israelites have to remember and understand that Esau has been running and ruling his empire through the Most High on the left-hand side. So everything he's done since the inception of America, and obviously I mean corporate America, when these bankers got in and basically took control of the whole country. Ever since their inception of doing that, they've been consulting Satan. They've been consulting demons. You know, what do we do next? How do we go about doing this, that, and the third? What do we need to sacrifice to get this? And da 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 da. All the blueprints, just like what we get on the right-hand side. They've been doing that to establish their kingdom, and we're doing it to receive a kingdom. So they've been doing that to establish their kingdom up until the point where the Most High has had enough. Now he cuts off all access to those left-hand side demons that had been basically keeping America above, above waters, keeping it up, keeping it afloat, right? And now that's what we're seeing. We're seeing the multitude of his councils are wearied. They don't know. Yeah, there's even infighting among the elites. You know what I mean? So,
last verse. Behold, they shall be as stubble. The fire shall burn them. They shall not deliver themselves from the power of the flame.
Right.
There shall not be a coal to warm it, nor fire to sit before it. And those are comforting words via the Heavenly Father through His Son and the Holy Spirit, right? To know that there's judgment, right, that's been designated, right, for this landmass, man, and the people that's uninhabited, right? And all we gotta, hope for is that voice come up hither, pertains to us. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And that we get a crown.
God.
Right.
Yeah. Oh, the crowning act. Wow.
Yeah.
Matthew 4 came up already?
No, not yet.
All right.
You're done, Kazak, eh? Yeah, go ahead, Ashar.
Let me bring this out because Brother Kazak mentioned it. Some of these people in the industry, you have to be do stuff to be successful, right? And that brings it to we're gonna be tested as well in that day, because all of us are gonna be tempted with the MOTV, right? So this is the book of Matthew 4 instead of 5 in the NLT. And it reads, then the devil took him to the holy city, Jerusalem, to the highest point of the temple, verse 6, and say, if you are the son of Yahawah, jump off of the scripture say. He will order his angels to protect you, and they will hold you up with their hand, so you won't even hurt your foot on a stone. Yahawah responds, the scriptures also say you must not test the Lord Yahawah, but Hashem Yahushai. And that's one of the things we always think about it on a daily basis. Fear the Heavenly Father. There's some praise and
Slap, I gotta say too. Best believe all of us are going to be tried the same way, whether it's by them demons or by Esau either himself or even both. Where in your mind, them demons are going to tell you, oh well, why don't you just do this? Because if you're of the hopeful elect and you've been preaching for this long and you've been doing this, that, and the third, you should be okay.
That's right.
They're going to be coming in with all kinds of different snake speech, but the hopeful elect are gonna move and speak through the Spirit, not through their own thoughts.
Verse 8. Next, the devil took him to the peak of a very high mountain and showed him all the kingdoms of the world and the glory. And that's what Esau does with the entertaining people. He gives you anything that you want, but at the end of the day, you have to give it back to him.
Yeah.
There's only one way. And here's the point. Here's the point, verse 9. I will give it all to you, he said, if you will kneel down and worship me. Right? And this is that. It brings it out to the MOTB, because everyone is going to worship him that at the end of the day. That's what
Yeah,
I
man.
know.
Well, the MOTB is basically their way of hiding a literal idol, because it can come instead of like a savior. Like with this device, it can be able to save you, meaning that you can participate in a wicked society. You know, paying your rent, your mortgage, you know, having things sent to you through Bluetooth. You know,
e-transfers.
Right? And there's this thing called Li-Fi. That's Lifi. You know, we have Wi-Fi. The new technology no one's talking about is called Li-Fi, which makes Wi-Fi looks like it ain't even trying. Right? So on your own time, you can just Google what is Li-Fi as Lifi.
Right. I was also going to mention too, before we jump into you know, the next part of the topic, which is going into, you know, the heathens raging about their plans, but also turning their backs on America, which is World War III. But you mentioned something about Kazakh, about what did you just finish mentioning again?
About Li-Fi?
No, before that.
Damn.
Oh, it was basically the option of the MOBT, all right, the very chip, you know, being a way out of what's going to be happening, or be able to have access and the convenience of participating in wickedness of the society.
And the chip being an idol. Right? Savior.
Oh, Khan, that's the point. The water. That's right. Yeah, because what I was thinking about when you were saying that, you know, when you think about it, Esau, all he's doing is trying to, again, we said this before, he's artificially trying to do the same thing that the Most High said he would do in Jeremiah and Hebrew. Right? Where he said, I'll put the laws in your inward parts. Right? So he's trying to do the same thing on the left-hand side. So instead of you having to go to a temple for him to have to do subliminal messages, movies, music, food, instead of using all those avenues to have you worship Satan, he's just going to put the device in you so you're a walking idol of Satan himself. You see? Where the Most High is doing the same thing on the right-hand side through Yahawah with the whole full elect and the rest of the nation of Israel. So I was thinking about that as you were saying that. That's what this guy wants to do with the MOTB. You don't know. As soon as you get that in you, you'll be worshiping Satan until you get destroyed.
Well, he also want to put seed in you, right?
Exactly.
And once you put seed in a woman, she's basically, you know, your property, your wife. So on the left-hand side, that's the MOTB is basically putting a seed in you that's gonna make you defiled. It says once a woman lays with a man, she's now become defiled. Israel being that woman that the virgin, right, that he wants to defile via his seed, his chip.
That's right.
Yeah. Because that thing is built to hijack your mind.
That's a spirit. That's cancel your smart center.
Esau wants to take over the pineal gland. The hypothalamus.
Well, if you get the hypothalamus, you're going to get the pineal. According to him, he wants to hack your smart center, which is the hypothalamus that reports to the pineal. If he can put it on the right side there where the hypothalamus is, he got you.
That digital
Right.
Right.
That's right.
If a man, roughly paraphrasing, it's in the law. If a man said he wanted to stay with his master,
right,
he would put his ear on the doorpost and he would pierce his ear, and he'd be in servitude to that man forever.
That's 2/3 of you fucking Israelites, man.
Yeah, and a lot of them are going to take it and in their hand and in their smart centers, and guess what? They're going to try to cut their hands off but there's no return.
Mhm.
You're done.
Mhm.
Anyway, go ahead, Victor.
All right, so let's jumping into these other nations banding together to take down America, which is the downfall, and that's also prophecy, and as well as getting into Psalms 2, the heathens raging about their vain ideas.
Mhm.
So this is from YouTube. And again, we don't claim any ownership to this video. This is from. It says the New World Order is here. This is Jason A.
Two countries should work together. But on China, Vladimir Putin said the two countries should work together to create what he called a just world order.
BRICS stands for Brazil, Russia, India, China.
1 second. You see the handshake? You see the handshake just now?
Yeah,
Thumb to knuckle. You saw that?
Yeah, Khan. Yeah.
Putin should look your thumb to knuckle. It's a Mason handshake.
Right.
India, China, and
Oh, Slacker. I have it in the slow mo. Let's go.
A dead woman up there.
That's right.
Africa, BRIC.
A just world order.
BRICS.
There you go. That's what you were talking about.
Gone, yes.
Vladimir Putin said the two countries.
It's called thumb to knuckle.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah. It's true.
We should work together to create what he called a just world order.
BRICS stands for Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa, BRICS. The name is an acronym. In 2006, it started with 4 members. South Africa joined in 2010. And this year, 5 new members have joined. Egypt, Ethiopia, Iran, Saudi Arabia, and the United Arab Emirates. They've all joined BRICS this year. So now there's a total of 10 members, and there is potential for more.
Xi told Putin the world is undergoing profound changes unseen in a century, and the international situation is chaotic and intertwined.
The world is undergoing profound changes unseen in a century, and the international situation is becoming chaotic and intertwined. But I firmly believe that the profound friendship between China and Russia from generation to generation will not change.
Welcoming his professed dear friend Xi Jinping to the 16th annual BRICS summit, Vladimir Putin said Moscow and Beijing would work towards creating global security.
Then the BRICS are certainly onto something, because not only are many BRICS member states talking about a different world economic order, but once they start talking about a different political and security order, we're onto something in many, many ways.
20 world leaders in total are descending on the Russian city of Kazan for the summit. It's seen by the Kremlin as sending the message that attempts by the West to isolate President Vladimir Putin over his invasion of Ukraine have failed. Moscow is touting this as the largest foreign policy event the country has ever hosted. The Russian president hopes to use the summit to convince members to adopt an alternative to the dollar for global payments.
And remember, in terms of prophecy, Iran is in the middle of all this because Iran is linked to its allies with Russia, and Iran. I just saw a news article. I think it was today. Iran just became a part of the BRICS. I think it was today or yesterday. Right. So. Anyways, I'm thinking about a couple things at once, but so that leaves again, anything that happens with Iran, that is an easy access for Russia to get into the war, which will fulfill prophecy.
Yep.
Yeah.
In the face of Western sanctions, Russia has been trying.
Go ahead. You trying to say something, Mac?
I was just saying, things is moving fast, just like how last week or was the week before, and the week before, how Israel invited America to come over to show and flexing their muscle about the THORAD missile defense system that they installed there and had to be operated by U.S. military. So these bigger brothers, or these bigger brothers, or whoever's endorsing them, is showing like they're not hiding in the background anymore, man.
Yeah. Well, all these nations are coming to join BRICS And it's why? Because they're tired of America. This comes into the downfall, the destruction of this wicked beast, this whore. Now I got a quick precept. This is Joel 10, and I'll start at 9. Joel 3 and 10. It's 3 and 9, Slaki. So it reads, proclaim ye this among the Gentiles. All right, these are the natural Gentiles, the heathens, not the Israelite foreigners. Prepare war. Wake up the mighty men. Let all the men of war draw near. Let them come up. Beat their plowshares into swords and their pruning hooks into spears. So they're going from, go ahead.
No, say you're saying there.
Well, I was just going to say that goes from their farming tools into war tools, war machines, you know?
I got a quick article. Second.
Yeah. I was just saying from a time of peace, because agricultural planting, all that, resides with peace and a buildup of a society. So a time of peace switched into a time of war. Go ahead, Ak.
There's a quick excerpt. It says, more powerful, and this came out October 17th, 2024. And it says, more powerful than a nuclear bomb. Iran threatens Israel with mystery weapon. Iranian General Ibrahim Rostami claimed that Tehran possesses weapons deadlier than nuclear bombs, referencing their use in past conflicts. His statements follows calls from Iranian lawmakers to review the country's military doctrine amid escalating tensions with Israel. So whatever that is, that's going to be more powerful than a nuclear bomb. So this is what you just read just now, that they're turning their prune hooks into plowshares.
That's right. Con. Yep. I'll finish it up. It says, beat your plowshares into swords and your pruning hooks into spears. Let the weak, and this is what you're seeing. This prophecy is playing out before our eyes right now. You're seeing all of these nations that were subjected to America, whether by fear, or military or policies, they were subject to America in any one way. And now they're breaking off and saying what? They're saying, let the weak say that I am strong. So that's what these nations are doing, getting together, building themselves up.
Right.
Because they obviously see the downfall of this wicked ass society. Right? This rulership of Esau Edom.
Precept. It's like, go ahead.
Yeah, no, I was just saying. I was just saying the money train's done. So these other nations, they're withdrawing their investment.
That's right. That's right.
Cool. Yeah, I just want to say also, like, going into like the reason why the Most High is gathering these nations to have them go at each other, in the war of Armageddon, is because like of what we actually been going to earlier in the video, like in the lesson, how basically like they had they've been telling our people, our children, for their for the sex trafficking as they're doing, like for organs and all these things, and actually it's in the same chapter that you're reading. There, Joel, some verse, second verse, Joel 3 verse 2.
For a harlot, huh?
And we're going to Joel in the Hebrew is Yahawah, which means that Yahawah is my power. Right, and so part of the reason why the Most High is actually going to is gathering up together over there in the world of Jehoshaphat. We have these nations coming together, like the BRICS nation coming together. Iran, and Israel. Actually, it's because of these odious works of witchcraft. Child trafficking, sex, is going to like all these names that they have for these for these parties, like the pizza gate and all these things.
Yes, sex slaves.
Sex slaves, can. So let me go ahead and grab this. Joel 3 verse 2 says, "We'll also gather all nations and will bring them down into the valley of Jehoshaphat, and will plead with them there for my people and for my heritage Israel. whom they have scattered among the nations and plotted my land. The land is the land of Israel, which over there in so-called Middle East, like Malcolm calls it West Asia. They're fighting over the land. You have the Israelis going after the Palestinians, trying to take over the whole land. And that's what these wicked are doing, right?
Yep. Them small hats want, they have that greater eye area. They have a plan called Greater, Israel.
Yeah,
Greater Israel. Yeah, call it Greater Israel. So they want that land for money.
Yeah.
Filthy lucre, man.
And what they're showing you on a map to be Israel, we know that couldn't be just a landmass based on us being numbered to the sand of the sea, right? So there's even trickery in that as well, and that's why they've divided the land and call it different places, call it this and that, but it's probably way bigger, speaking as a man, than what has been shown to us on their maps.
Right. Yep. And in the scriptures it tells you that we were actually supposed to get that whole fertile crescent. They're fighting for a small area. But yeah, go ahead.
So keep going. Back in Joel 3 verse 3 says, and they have cast lots for my people and have given a boy for an harlot and sold a girl for wine that they may drink. Verse 4 says, yeah, and what have you to do with me, O Tyre and Zidon, and all the coasts of Palestine? Will they render me a recompense? And it just came out today, I believe it was today, that the city of Tyre actually got bombed. It was ultimately destroyed altogether. Also, this is the most actually recompensing these are so-called Arabs for what they did unto the children of Israel. Ultimately, they sold them to the Grecians, going back to the so-called transatlantic slave trade. Where they were gathering up jigs over there in the West Africa, and they sold them to the Edomites, right? So this is most high recompensing that these Arabites for what they did unto our children, unto our people.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah, it's true.
Right?
It's true.
And it says, and if you recompense me swiftly and speedily, will I return your recompense upon your own head? Because ye have taken my silver and my gold and have carried into your temples my goodly pleasant things. That's talking about really the children of Israel, because we are a jewels of the Most High. Like we are compared unto like fine gold.
Yeah.
It says
yeah,
verse 6.
and you're right. It's twofold. It's both us and they literally took those. When you go into the Slacker,
when they sack the temple.
Exactly. Yep. And a lot of these different nations had it, especially the Islamic nations when they were ruling for a couple 200 years during the so-called medieval era. They were inhabiting that land, doing what they want with the different cups and riches and gold and that we had in the temple and everything like that. Yep.
That's right. It says verse 5. Yes, it's like verse 6 says, the children of Judah and the children of Jerusalem have you sold unto the Grecians, that you might remove them far from their border. Behold, I will raise them out of the place whither you have sold them, right? And you will return your recompense upon your own head, right? And that's what the Most High is doing right now. Is raising up, the elect in these last times, to back to our nationality, back to knowing who we are, get back to basically like having us come back to our heritage. It's a process. Also at the same time, is recompensing these heathen for what they did to us. Right, slowly but surely. Until verse 8, and I will sell your sons and your daughters into the hand of the children of Judah, into the hand of the children of Judah, and they shall sell them to the Sabians, to the people far off, for the Lord Yahawah has spoken it. And the Sabians there, that goes back to the word Sheba, which really this was Arabia, or these Arabites, like the Arabs. Ultimately, so the most the same way, these the Amalekites, are tormenting these Arabites. The Most is going to recompense them upon themselves when He has them sell them back to them, and they're going to basically exact vengeance for what they did, for what they did to them now. And so that's like the most I really having like it's like a full circle of judgment.
Mhm.
I also have real quick another precept I have here in Zechariah 11 verse 5 just to back it up. Says Zechariah 11 verse 5 says, whose possessors slay them and hold themselves not guilty, and they say and they that sell them say, blessed be the Lord. So they sell our children, sex trafficking, and then they get riches, they get like all these accolades, same way like like P. Diddy and them, they be they basically like they have these casting couch thing as they call them. Most of the people that actually get on the casting couch is jigs. They ultimately get pimped out in Hollywood, right? And they basically like they pass them around like a blunt,
Yep.
It says, blessed be the Lord Yahawah, for I am rich, and their own shepherds pity them not. Like the P. Diddy's, the Jay-Z's, and these people that they call the people look up to, but really they are Esau's gatekeepers.
Yeah.
All griffins, man.
Yeah, and even in the churches, because a lot of them been doing that. Because who was it? Eddie Long.
Yeah,
The dirty dean. Yeah.
Oprah Winfrey.
Yeah.
Good
And then you got TD Walrus Snakes, or whatever you want to call him, right? He's
Right.
he thought because he was him and the Diddler.
Yeah.
They were they were having their meetings or whatever. White Party.
Even Oprah Winfrey share like an old girls school in South Africa, right? I believe.
Yeah.
And like she'll be like basically like like basically like having these girls as escorts to the elites, from in that private school that she had.
Hey, this just came in about a couple hours ago, but it just says just in BRICS news, BRICS officially added 13 new nations to the alliance as partners countries, not full of members. Yep. So.
Yeah, the dollar's gonna drop.
Yeah, man. That was it on that, Kabarga.
Kanye, that was it.
I got some here I want to grab. Let's play a little bit more of this, and then I'll grab where I gotta go.
Trying to persuade its allies to adopt an alternative to the dollar for international payments. At a BRICS summit this week, Moscow is expected to try and convince a growing club of developing economy allies that it is immune from Western attempts to isolate it, and call for other countries to join its attempt to overhaul the global financial system.
Russian authorities are keen to promote the idea of a unified BRICS financial system to rival the dominant US dollar.
BRICS is perceived as an alternative to the dollar system. It became the platform that offers some alternative ways of carrying out economic and financial transactions. Russia proposes to use some...
The dollar system comes from America. Okay, so they're basically telling you that Russia was used, or BRICS was used, because Russia is spearheading BRICS, but the BRICS nations were used as a what's it called? The alternative to the dollar, which is alternative to the American standard in finance. Right. So you're looking at all the nations there. What's going on is the leaders in these nations, in their hearts, in their minds, they think that they're the next one to rule. That their nation is going to be the next nation to rule over the earth. Right. Right now it's the Edomites, but no one's looking at the Israelites to rule, let alone the elect of Israel. So the stage is being set.
Yeah,
that's right. They're all in the trick bag, man. Hence, hey, I gotta read it right now. I'll read it real quick. Hence Psalms 2 and 1. So I kept quoting it. Psalms 2 and 1. And I was reading King James. Why do the heathens rage and the people imagine a vain thing? The kings of the earth set themselves, and the rulers take counsel together against the Lord and against his anointed, saying, let us break their bands asunder and cast away their cords from us. Right? So basically, when it comes to these nations establishing themselves and basically coming in unison for the NWO, but with the idea that all of them individually are going to be the top dog in the NWO, they all agree in taking out Israel and doing away with the idea of the Most High Yahawah and Yahweh Shai and the Israelites and all the tribes and whatnot. So that's their main plan, their main goal. Okay. But yeah, go ahead.
No, the vibration of like hating Israel, right, is basically a trick Esau used because he knows that Israel is a people before it's a place. So we have that negative energy towards, you know, Israel is mainly us, right? This is the hate he wants. You know, this is what he's doing. He knows how powerful the words are. Yeah, when he say down with Israel, and Israel and Israel's wicked. He's talking about us.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. And those of you that are in here, you're not privy to that information. In the spirit, you're just going to be doing what he's telling you to do. That's sorcery.
Right? Exactly. Right?
Yeah. Wow. They're eating the cats and the dogs.
The accuser of our brethren.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. This is Revelation 17:17 for Yahawah. Has put in their hearts to fulfill his will and to agree and to give their kingdom unto the beast, which is what these heathens nations are going to do when it comes to the MOTB and NWO. They're all going to come together with their own form of a micro CHIP to put into the inhabitants of their nation. Okay. His will and to agree and to give their kingdom unto the beast until the words of Yahawah Bashim shall be fulfilled. And the woman which thou sawest. Oh, sorry. Let me read verse 16. It says, getting into the point of the topic, and the 10 horns which thou sawest upon the beast, okay, which is 10 horns goes into the EU, also known as the European
Union.
No, not Europe. Yeah, European Union, but they also go by the European.
The EEC.
Yeah, what is that? European
Economic Community.
Con. So going into all the economics of Europe, you know, these are the nations, and then all the other nations that have joined as well since it's been the 10. Right, where the most commerce happens. So, anyways, all these nations, it says, and the 10 horns which thou sawest upon the beast, these shall hate the whore, which is America, and shall make her desolate and naked, and shall eat her flesh and burn her with fire. So that's the inward that thought of burning America with fire, nuclear missiles is brewing, is being exercised in the minds of the kings of these nations by the spirit of Yahawah Shai.
That's right.
Yeah, so that's it for me. That's it.
And that's all lawful, man. This is what prescribed in our laws, that how a whore should be treated. Can be stoned.
Yeah, it's true.
Right, stoned to death, and the stone is gonna come via these missiles, man.
That's right. That's right. That's right, man. That's right.
To death.
Yeah. I'll play like 30 seconds left, and then that'll be it for this clip.
Some kind of new currency, which could allow national currencies to be converted into a new unit of payment. It will reportedly be electronic, which could allow narrowing out economic and financial.
Carefully, they're all gonna put the Most High has put it in their hearts to give their kingdom onto the whore, the beast. So listen to what she's saying.
Transactions. Russia proposes to use some kind of new currency, which could allow national currencies to be converted into a new unit of payment. It will reportedly be electronic digital money.
Xi Jinping is going to walk alongside his buddy Vladimir,
which is MOTB.
Putin, at this BRICS summit. Your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, Gordon, it seems to me that Joe Biden's done an excellent job of bringing our enemies together into this BRICS group. It worries me very much that you have India part of it, the UAE part of it. I guess my question to you is, A, are you concerned about the growing kind of inclusivity of...
Yeah, that's basically the point there.
I have a precept.
Yeah, go ahead, Ak. Those got precepts go on.
Ezekiel 38, 1 through 7, verse 1. And the word of the Lord Yahawah came unto me, saying, Son of man, set thy face against Gog, the land of Magog, the chief prince of Meshach and Tubal, and prophesy against him. Right? And you look into Gog, the land of Magog, Meshach and Tubal goes into the sons of Japhet, but chief prince being the word chief in the Hebrew is Rash, and prince is Shar, right? Going into Russia. Verse 3, and say, thus saith the Lord power, behold, I am against thee, O Gog, the chief prince of Meshach and Tubal, and I will turn thee back and put hooks into thy jaws. Right? So the Lord is putting the spirit on Russia to go back into that Cold War spirit, that former Soviet Union spirit, right? That's the hooks going into his jaws and turning him back. Because that old style of Russia was fierce.
Yeah.
The Russian
That's
beard.
why, Slacky. That's why That's why NATO was created.
Yeah, that's right.
You know what I mean?
That's
right. So yeah, they were fierce.
Right. And that whole World War II, it was Russia that toppled Nazi Germany.
Right.
If Russia wasn't on board, then it was still prophecy according to the scriptures.
Yeah.
But speaking as a man, if Russia wasn't on board, that thing would have,
Yeah.
Verse 4, and I will turn thee back and put hooks into thy jaws, and I will bring thee forth, and all thine army, horses and horsemen, all of them clothed with all sorts of armor, even a great company with bucklers and shields, all of them handling swords. Right. So this is going into Russia's allies. Because Russia has allies. That map, that BRICS map shows you pretty much all of them, or for the most part, some of them. Right.
Yeah.
Verse 5, Persia, Ethiopia, and Libya. Right. And we know Persia is Iran. Ethiopia is those Cushites. Libya is going into from Algeria to Egypt, right? All of them with shield and helmet, right? So they're going to be battle ready. Their armor, their drones, their tanks. Gomer.
And we got to remember that those names it's biblical. Esau's changed it and added more countries. So Libya would have been a bigger landmass, and Esau's been called it something else. So it's Ethiopia, right?
That's right.
Yep.
That's right.
Yeah, it's true.
Gomer and all his bands, the house of Togarmah, right? When you look at an ancient map, you see Gomer and Togarmah. It's the landmass of the modern day Turkey, right? And Turkey's going to be something heavy in this whole. You shall hate the whore.
Yeah,
because we already see Erdogan. He's always saying something. Something against Netanyahu, something against Israel.
Oh, they hate them small hats.
Oh yeah. And they're
it's like I was going to say he actually compared him to Hitler. He compared Netanyahu to Hitler. Erdogan said that.
Yeah. I remember that. Yeah, that's right. He said it a couple weeks ago, man.
Khan, yeah.
And he's a NATO nation, Turkey, right? Verse 6 once again. Gomer and all his bands.
I think they want to join the BRICS. I don't know if it happened or whatever. So they're on the list of joining because they were saying some stuff like a while back. Did they get hit by an earthquake and shit?
Yeah. Turkey, yeah.
Yeah, because I think they were some. I can't even remember what happened because it was like last year or whatever. How the seen the thing the day before or the week before, how they was just changing and shit, and then said about something's gonna happen and then they got hit because I think they owed America some money or something. It's all shit, right?
Verse 6 once again. Gomer and all his bands, the house of Togarmah of the north quarters, and all his bands, and many people with thee. Be thou prepared and prepare for thyself, thou and all thy company that are assembled unto thee, and be thou a guard unto them. Right, so that's just showing you Russia's the guard unto these nations that we just mentioned. You know, a big brother, so to speak.
Yeah, that's been spearheading. That's who's been spearheading the BRICS nation.
Yeah, that's right.
You know, so yeah.
Yeah, that's
That's
it
it on that, Ak?
Yeah, Khan.
All right. Any lasting precepts or statements before we close up?
Yeah, I got one because it's powerful, and the apostles been talking about this precept. It's a staple for the elect. A whole lot. So this is Revelation 12, right? I'm going to read the 11th verse, okay? And the 12th verse points in the 12th verse real quick. So it says, right? As a matter of fact, I'm going to read the 12th verse first and then go back to the 11th verse, right? Simon, you can flip it either way. It says, when we see these things happening, we got to rejoice in spirit and in truth. A healthy dose of Lord's fear will be upon the elect. It says, therefore, rejoice, ye O heavens, right? And ye that dwell in them, right? We know that's speaking to the elect, all right? Right? These people are rejoicing in wickedness. 2/3 of our people, and you wicked out there, man. You continue your bullshit. But the Lord says here through his prophet, when we see this, we need to rejoice.
It's twofold. Also towards you heathens and you wicked of Israel. Rejoice now, because this is your time to rejoice. And because it's going to be cut off soon. And when you're done rejoicing, all there's left is mourning. It's not, so you 2/3. You're going to rejoice now, but in the kingdom, you're going to have a long time of shame. You heathens are going to rejoice now, but in the kingdom, you're going to have a long time of mourning because you're going to be under us.
That's right. That's right. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, where the devil has come down unto you, having great wrath. Right? And Esau, Edom, and the 7 heads and 10 horns, and these BRICS nations, right? I'm going to say Esau, Edom, that's spearheading everything, spearheading those BRICS nations, and also the 7 heads and 10 horns. Man, they know that they have a short time. This is what it says, because he knoweth that he hath but a short time. Speaking expressly to Esau, Edom.
Yep.
Okay. And verse 11, it says, and they overcame him, right? So who overcame him? By the blood of the Lamb, right? So the elect is going to, as Brother mentioned at the beginning of this lesson, intervention, mediatorial work for the elect, those who fear the Lord, okay, who's given the spirit of fear, meaning that his wisdom, going into his wisdom, his Holy Spirit, right? They overcame by the blood of the Lamb and by the word of their testimony, and they loved not their lives unto death. Right? That's all I got.
Yep. Yeah, which means, the hopeful elect are not going to put their lives in anybody else but the Most High Yahawah and His Son Yahushua. They won't take it upon themselves to save themselves. They won't lead upon Esau, Edom to save themselves. They will lead upon Yahawah Bashim El Shai to do whatever His will is in that time.
That's right.
So,
yeah, I got this right here. Just 4 precepts here. Habakkuk, and then close out from here. This is Habakkuk 2 and 3. For the vision is yet for an appointed time, but at the end it shall speak and not lie. Though it tarry, wait for it, because it shall surely come. It will not tarry. Behold, his soul which is lifted up is not upright in him, which is referring to Esau, because his mind is perverse.
Yeah.
He's Satan, adversary, antipater,
Yep.
anti-father, antichrist.
His mind is lifted up. Stocky, you said that
it's not upright.
It's not upright. Yeah. So he's prideful and he's wrong. You know?
That's right.
Double whammy.
Yeah.
But the just shall live by his faith. Right? It's Yahweh's faith. Verse 5. Yea, also
Yeah,
because
Slaki, I was going to say, I need to say this too. Your faith goes into what you've been doing during the grace period, and what you've been doing really in our past lives. We don't know all that, but what you've been doing since you've been privy to, the double portion, the full truth. Because if you believed, guess what? You were storing up riches in heaven. If you didn't believe, you weren't doing that, and that's all gonna be exposed in the height of Jacob's trouble.
Verse 5.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Yea, also because by wine he is a proud man, neither keepeth at home, who enlargeth his desire as hell. So he's in everybody's backyard. What you doing, nigga? He wants to know what Moab's doing. He's doing everything, right? He's biting off more than he can chew, and is as death and cannot be satisfied. So even if you get that chip, he ain't gonna. that's not even sufficient to him, man. But gathereth unto him all nations, and heapeth unto him all people. So he wants. That's why it says in the scripture, Revelation 13 chapter, free or bond.
Causes the whole world.
Yeah.
He wants all and nothing.
Yep. Verse 6.
Wow.
Shall not
Oh,
all
Salakia. If I may add, Salakia, in Obadiah it says, if grape gatherers came, would he not leave some grapes? Roughly paraphrasing, right? This wicked, diabolical madman wants it all.
All and nothing.
Even wants a man's soul.
Yeah. God complex.
Well, now you came out in the UK that they have that thought crime, so you can't even think, can't even doesn't want you to think anything that's going against his NWO,
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely has a God complex to this man,
Yeah.
That bill over here is what, C11 or C63?
Yeah, something like that.
C-63.
Verse 6. Shall not all these take up a parable against him, and a taunting proverb against him, and say, woe to him that increaseth that which is not his? How long? And to him that ladeth himself with thick clay. So his debt clock is just about to run out. That's it.
And they say something called C11, Bill?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's why you're 33, because you got your C would be your third letter in the alphabet, and the 11, right? So it's some again some sorcery. C11, it would be 33.
I think CVID went into something like that. CVID 19 went into something like that too.
Oh really?
Yeah. I forgot it. I have to go into it again. But that whole thing was saying something. I remember a couple of years ago. All right, so beautiful. That will be the lesson. The water for all the precepts of the common board as well. Lord willing, this lesson was edifying to the whole full elect of a nation of Israel. Man, stay tight. Stay in the spirit. Hold on tight, because it's only about 2 more months until 2025 is done. And if you're in the spirit, man, you can feel it. That bubble is about to pop. So, again, Lord willing, this was edifying to the whole full elect. We're going to give all praises and honor and glory to Yahawah, Hashem, double honors to the apostles, elders, and bishops, a great millstone who rule well and have taught us his word in truth and sincerity, and peace and mercy to the rest of you that sincerely believe in your household. All right. Baba Ball, and Kwame Shala, and Shabbat Shalom to the whole full left.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom to the full left. Shalom.
Shalom.
So